To build anything that truly lasts, it takes time.
All right, then moving on, just as we were talking about tariffs, now Donald Trump, he seems to be backing down from his stuffed tariff stance. Now, an executive order delays the tariff imposition to August 1st, just like we mentioned, giving targeted nations weeks to respond. And from next month, the US is saying that new tariff rates will be applicable on imports from at least 14 countries, including major Asian economies like Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and Thailand. Now, tariff rates will range from 25% all the way up to 40%, depending on the country, with the highest duties hitting imports from Laos and Myanmar. Now, Trump has posted signed letters on social media outlining these new rates, saying adjustments might be considered based on bilateral ties. However, it is unclear if the base tariffs of 10% remain.
Tensions flared at the BRICS summit in Rio after Trump threatened extra tariffs on the bloc, calling them anti-American. But Brazilian President Lula pushed back hard, declaring the world has changed. We don't want an emperor. Trump has threatened an additional 10% tariff on BRICS countries, though he stopped short of immediate action, warning he'd proceed if their policies undermine US interests. Lula defended BRICS as a force for economic alternatives and reiterated his call to reduce dependence on the US dollar in global trade. Other BRICS leaders echoed after a softer tone. South Africa stressed no intention to compete with the US. China called for a win-win cooperation, and Russia insisted that the bloc is not aimed against any country. Meanwhile, Indonesia and Malaysia moved to reassure Washington of their independent economic stances as trade talks continue. The European Union has sidestepped in the latest round of US tariff letters for now. Reports say that the bloc won't receive a formal letter from US President Donald Trump threatening higher tariffs like those sent to Japan and other trading partners. Instead, Brussels is quietly negotiating possible concessions to secure exemptions from Trump's baseline 10% levy. Talks may also include limited US tariff cuts on European aircraft parts, spirits, and medical equipment, plus a potential agreement benefiting German automakers by allowing more EU car imports at lower rates. The European Commission also warned member states that may need to accept an unbalanced deal to avoid further uncertainty.